technology available to accomplish that. We're ready to go now. So we'll just have to dive in.
And for those of you in the audience, so there'll be no more packets like this mailed to us. It'll be electronic, and it'll be available to the public as well. So the website is boarddocs.com, and so you'll be able to go on and see exactly, see what we see as far as the agenda goes. It's pretty neat stuff.
After the July 28th meeting, I think.
Right. We're still building it, but you can go on and look at other stuff. Ms. Cook.
Okay, so what I want to know is, because I anticipate struggling. I'm sorry. I just do. What timeline would we need to make the decision that we needed to either reschedule or not have the meeting in September, to make sure that we are aware of that after playing with it, that we would like to attend the conference in Atlanta?
I don't know, but we can contact Sylvia. Yeah, Sylvia about that perhaps.
See if their conference fills, if they have a limited number of people who can attend.
Yeah, see how, I guess to see how late we would have to notify them in order to reserve space or to reserve seats to attend that.
And then I think another thing to consider, because she indicated it was a fairly large conference.
Yeah.
That hotel accommodations, that we would have to, I wouldn't want to wait too long.
Also, something else comes to mind, and Ms. Farmer may remember this date. The date for our budget.
I was sitting here trying to remember what it is.
I
don't think it's the first board meeting. I think it's
It's
the
the
Monday.
I
think it's the Monday.
12.
The 12th, okay. Okay. Because it's usually around that time of September.
Let's go.
Okay, so follow-up question. We're already having a special meeting on the 12th for the budget that has to be held by the trim timelines. If we decide we need this conference, can we reschedule the 9th board meeting so that the 12th is a full board meeting and encompasses the budget?
We could, as long as it's advertised timely.
So why don't we use it for the first time?
Yeah, let's
see.
Let's take one step at a time.
Ms. Cook. And see if there is a panic, or if we're all just as comfy as can be.
Okay. If you're not going to be here on the 28th, right?
I'll be here.
She's coming.
So Connie can sit right here with me.
Ms. Cook, you should go on boarddocs.com and start practicing.
Anytime.
There is still that fake agenda on there that you can start, work with and stuff and look and stuff. I will be practicing too, believe me.
No, me too. I didn't mean that.
No. I had to take my laptop, my personal laptop, because this is coming in. So I have to use my personal laptop. I couldn't get it to connect to the internet. So I took it to work and I said, can you help me figure out what's going on here? There was a little switch that I didn't even know was there, and it had switched off the Wi-Fi. So, yeah, I'm pretty inept.
Okay, well, let's talk about this again in July, if that's okay with the board. Mr. Deonis, okay with you?
Yeah, and Dr. Royce, you said St. Johns County?
Yeah.
Is who's had it for several months?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yes,
Okay, we'll move to staff reports.
Wildlight Elementary School, we're still making progress, and Mr. Burnett, of course, as you see, is not here this evening, and I know of no issues at this particular point that has impeded the construction process at this particular time, and we're still on schedule to open in August of 2017.
Any questions from the board? Okay, and we'll move to the technology update. We have a written update, and we also have Mr. Wilson here with us this evening. Any questions for him? Dr. Burns? Okay.
Mr. Wilson, after this latest deployment of the Chromebooks, what is our ratio, Chromebook to student?
I couldn't tell you that right off the top of my head. I can find out and email everyone.
Okay, thank you. I know we're getting close to our one-to-one.
Well, yeah, we will be one-to-one in middle schools this school year.
Yeah.
Okay.
In second semester.
Second semester.
If you could get that to us, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Wilson while we've got him here? I mean, he's always here, but while he's up at the podium. Okay, thank you, Mr. Wilson. I'm not aware of any old business unless the board has any to bring. So we'll move to public presentations. Mr. Slade? As you're walking up, if you'll state your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes.
I'm Carlos Slade, 54161 Gerald Road, Callahan, Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, Madam Chair, thank you for allowing me to speak. I'm speaking as a grandparent and as a taxpayer, and I would ask that the board would get an ethics opinion on employees or public officers wanting to do business with their employer, which namely Florida Psychological Associates, which Dr. Drew is an employee of the Nassau County School Board. Excuse me. I would ask, Madam Chair, if you would have counsel, if they will seek that opinion from the Ethics Commission, because I believe that is a conflict of interest. And I believe some time ago that the Nassau County School Board put out in the paper conflicts of interest, and they were very concerned about that. So that's where I stand on this, and I would like to ask the board why this was not a public bid. It was a no bid when they first got it, if I may.
I can answer the latter question.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Slade, there's a specific statute, and if you want to take a look at it, it's actually called 287, Florida Statute 287.057, subsection 3E5. Mr. Slade, what this provides is certain contractual service and commodities are not subject to the competitive solicitation requirements of Chapter 287. And one of those is the services that were at issue. So that's with regards to the bid. With regards to your employment question, I certainly will take a look at this. This contract came up last year. I'm not sure I was aware whether or not Dr. Drew was an employee of the school district. So I will certainly take a look at that issue for the board to see. I am familiar with Chapter 112, 313 that has some prohibitions, but like any statute, there are some exemptions. But I will take a look at it moving forward. I will tell the board, it's my understanding that Dr. Drew will no longer be an employee of the school district moving forward, which then again may have some impact on my recommendations and or opinions to the board. So.
Thank you, Mr. Hackett. Anything else, Mr. Slade?
Yes, thank you very much for that. And I would ask, as each and every one of you are elected officials, y'all represent everybody in your district. And we ask, as the taxpayers, please represent us. As Ms. Burns is my representative of the school, I will ask her at any given time of an employee or any public officer would want to do business. That is a conflict. And what I ask, I stand here for the people and ask, always be observant of that. And I thank you for the time that y'all have given me. Thank you for answering my question. And I would ask, when you find those out, the findings, can you please make it public to the people so we can see the outcome of it?
The board instruction to do so, absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Slade.
Thank you very much.
Amen.
Robin, any other public presentations this evening?
No.
So we'll move to superintendent comments. Dr. Ruth?
The only comment that I have is to ask you to try and look at your calendars and schedule a time that we can have an executive session to discuss the bargaining with the Nassau Teachers Association. They have begun meeting and have had, I think, 2 meetings up to this point. And we need to meet with the board and share what some of the issues and proposals are.
Is there a timeline when we need to?
We need to, have you all set a date for another meeting yet, Ms. Correct?
We did, I'm gonna look right now for you.